Hello friends, today I will talk about a comedy, sci-fi and time travel movie named Thermae Romae. The film opens in classical Rome. Lucius, an architect, struggles with money and is unable to create new technologies. Every suggestion he makes is rejected by the clients because they view his inventions as antiquated. A friend of Lucius takes him to a public bathhouse one afternoon to unwind. Given the volume of loud, nude individuals there, Lucius believes it to be the worst place to unwind. He enters the water and stays there for a time after becoming overwhelmed by the surroundings. He abruptly becomes aware of a tiny vortex developing on the other side of the bathtub. He tries to check it, but a powerful current pulls him away. In a matter of seconds, Lucius finds himself gasping for air in a tunnel-like setting. He makes every effort to reach the surface, and eventually succeeds. However, to his surprise, he is no longer in the Roman bathhouse. He is actually at a contemporary Japanese bathhouse full of elderly guys who are horrified to see him standing naked in front of them. The architect has somehow arrived in contemporary Japan. The men had flat faces, according to Lucius, who has never seen anyone with Mongolian features. Lucius discovers that the location is more developed than any bathhouse he has ever seen when he has recovered from his fright. He regrets not coming up with these improvements sooner as the baskets, taps, and massaging apparatus blow his mind. Additionally, he enters the women's restroom by mistake and is knocked out by a yelling elderly woman. Then Mommy, a struggling manga artist, is presented to us. She begins to draw him since she gets an idea for a new character from the way he looks. After some time, Lucius wakes up and receives a bottle of milk with flavoring. His confusion at its bittersweet flavor continues. In fact, it is so excellent that it causes him to lose consciousness once more. He finds himself back in Rome, surrounded by guys, as he comes to. They claim that he drowned in the bathtub and was only discovered. When Lucius first thinks his meeting with the flat-faced tribe was just a dream, the empty milk bottle by his side causes him to change his mind. 2 months later, the sequence is cut. The proprietor of the baths was informed of Lucius' plan for reconstruction, which he encouraged. He is praised for his originality and benefits financially from it. They now accentuate their bathhouse experience with baskets, massage booths, and even sweet milk. An elderly man laments the lack of a bathroom at home while he soaks in the tub. In the 21st century, Lucius is once more pulled by a current and taken to a bathtub as he considers how to make it possible. When a man enters, he begs Lucius to assist him with his bath. Despite his confusion, Lucius follows instructions and learns about numerous more handy items, including a shower head and a shower hat. By chance, Mommy, who finds Lucius on the floor, lives in the house. He has already left when she returns after running to retrieve her sketchbook. Back in Rome, Lucius makes the elderly man a bathtub for his home and makes a fortune. Finally having enough to offer his wife well-prepared meals, he finds that she remains unsatisfied. She laments that Lucius is always working because she so desperately wants a child. She curses him and rushes away after they have a disagreement. A Haitianus imperial messenger approaches Lucius a few days later. As reports claim that he assassinated the cabinet members who disagreed with him, the man is renowned for his cruelty. Even the emperor is showing interest in Lucius as a result of the buzz surrounding his inventions. When he first meets Lucius, he admits that he loves art, and what Lucius has done with the public baths is unmistakably an example of it. The emperor requests him to create a private bath for himself after being impressed by his work. He expects that it be unusual, creative, and something that has never been done before. Accepting the challenge, Lucius resolves to win over the emperor. He spends the entire night searching the town for ideas for a lavish bathhouse but comes up empty-handed. He is ashamed that all of his ideas are plagiarized and that he shouldn't be given credit for them. He abruptly collapses into a ditch and vanishes. We see Mommy at work in a bathroom supply store in a scenario from the present. She has a second job because her career as a manga artist is struggling. Even yet, she finds it difficult to stay awake at work. She unintentionally leaves the water running one afternoon, filling the tub to the brim. Lucius suddenly emerges from the tub and begins to breathe rapidly. When he notices the tub is bubbling on its own, he pauses. Mommy and Lucius have time to mingle while the shop manager goes to report about the weird man. After giving her a penny, Lucius asks her to show him about the building. Mommy leads him around despite not being able to speak the language. Lucius is fascinated by the urinals and believes that the success of the flat-faced tribe may be explained by the printed toilet paper. A bidet, though, captures his attention the most. He feels as though he is in heaven while he is on it. He returns to Rome and constructs the greatest bathhouse ever for the emperor by stealing the concept from everything he saw. It has a bathtub with bubbles created by slaves blowing up a pipe, a bright aquarium, aromatic candles, and a toilet with constant water flow to clean the behind. He surpasses the emperor's expectations and receives a special necklace with an original sculpture of human genitalia and dog legs. Running home to tell his wife about his success, Lucius discovers his wife making out with his closest friend. After continually failing to come up with good manga idea and being fired from the side jobs, Mommy later returns to her little hometown. She begins studying ancient Roman history while working at a neighborhood spa. She is curious to know if Lucius is really a person from the past because of the coin she received from him and his disappearance. After his wife left him for his best friend and fled to Rome, Lucius has lost all motivation to live. One day, a messenger comes up to him and expresses concern for the emperor. The monarch apparently believes that a crocodile is his reincarnation because he recently lost his son. He requests that Lucius provide an area where the crocodile can be kept and all of his demands be satisfied. With this one, Lucius needs to exercise additional caution since if the animal perishes, the entire guilt will be placed on him and he will be labeled a national criminal. Then, at the emperor's request, Lucius travels to the emperor's baths to examine the water flow. However, he is dragged into the future a third time when he gets in the bathtub. When he steps outdoors, he discovers that he is being held captive by crocodiles. He is actually in a crocodile refuge, it turns out. Mommy is also at the sanctuary at the same moment, but she's there with a date that she doesn't care for. She makes every effort to get rid of him, but when she sees Lucius in the cage, she is relieved. Forgetting about her date, she drags him out and shows him about the sanctuary. Lucius gains knowledge on caring for crocodiles and their ideal environment. To verify that he is a true Roman man, Mommy also arranges for him to undergo archery lessons. He strikes every target, which supports her suspicion. Later, he finds himself in a hot spring that transports him back in time. The emperor receives the ideal location to breed his crocodile son a few months later. Lucius is now routinely invited to the palace, and he has even started to treat him like family. Everything in the city is going smoothly until one day, when the emperor is informed that the rebels are attacking his army. They seek to overthrow him at all costs because they are unhappy with his authority. The rebels and the emperor's army engage in a protracted conflict that lasts for more than a year. The emperor is now aged and ready for retirement. He intends to abdicate in favor of his nephew Sionius. To win the support of the populace, Sionius is planning to construct a new bathhouse as his first project as emperor. As a result, the emperor asks Lucius to assist his nephew with the undertaking. Lucius has a problem with this since Sionius, who is conceited and haughty, does not share his principles. Lucius is aware that the Roman Empire will inevitably fall if he is made emperor. He therefore approaches Sionius and tells him that he will not be working for him after much deliberation. Lucius refuses to listen when Sionius tells him that defying the emperor is treason, which carries a death sentence. He asks a fellow architect to take the project when he approaches him. The man, however, is enraged with Lucius for being the cause of his financial crisis. As a result of their altercation, Lucius is forced down a well. He is once more with the flat-faced tribe in the following scenario. Although he is hurt, they are caring for him as if he were their own. They take him to a hot spring so he can rest and replenish himself. A person can supposedly heal quickly by taking a bath in spring water. Additionally, they give him fermented beer, which causes his throat to burn. Lucius then meets Mommy, who has mastered some rudimentary Latin. She asks him his name, but Lucius is so inebriated that he trips over her and the two of them fall into the lake and perish. To Mommy's surprise, when they wake up, they are in Rome. She learns that Lucius is set to be put to death since he disobeyed the emperor's edict. She attempts to persuade him to accept the assignment out of worry, but it doesn't succeed. To preserve his life, Lucius departs from home with his belongings. When the group of elderly guys fell into the lake in Japan, they are searching for Mommy. They also become trapped in a whirlpool and are sent to the past, similar to Lucius. On his trip to another city, Lucius stumbles upon a natural hot spring on a hill. The flat-faced Trib's treatment of him comes to mind, and he understands that the spring can help the Emperor's injured soldiers. He quickly runs to Mommy to share his proposal, and she concurs. Lucius then takes the vision to the Emperor and gives it to him. He further asserts that Antonius gave him instructions on how to construct the spring. Another potential heir to the throne who is significantly more qualified than Sionius is Antonius. Lucius therefore wants him to enhance his image in the eyes of the Emperor. Lucius, Mommy, and the flat-faced tribe begin working on the spring after being given permission to do so. They construct the first hut during the following few hours. Over time, a large number of homes are constructed all around the spring, serving as a military rest area. The tribe tends to the injured and aids their speedy recovery. They also use their understanding of contemporary medicine to this. A few months later, the military triumph in their conflict with the insurgents. They dance and drink to celebrate. Mommy and Lucius spend a considerable amount of time talking in private. Over the course of their collaboration at work, they have grown close. Up until the flat-faced tribe mysteriously vanishes, Lucius is the happiest he has ever been. Before Mommy begins to evaporate before his eyes as well, he informs her that there are numerous routes getting to Rome. In the scene that follows, the Emperor appoints Antonius as his advisor. In front of the populace, Lucius receives recognition for his bravery throughout the conflict. They acknowledge that they couldn't have succeeded without him. Mommy has begun a new life in the future in the meantime. One day, as she is strolling through the city, she notices Lucius emerging from a pond. They recross paths as the film comes to a finish. To support the channel, switch on the notification feature, subscribe for more videos such as this, and leave a like. I appreciate you watching.